Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at a brand new 35-liter carry-on pack from Salkan. You may remember Salkan from the 2-bag travel system that I featured on the channel not too long ago. That consisted of a larger travel backpack as well as a very capable day pack. And both of those items worked very well on their own, but what I really liked about the setup was how well they combined together. So you could actually attach the day pack onto the back of the travel bag, you could wear it on the front, so it provided a lot of flexibility while you were on the go. And so I was very excited when Salkan reached out to see if I wanted to test out their new 35-liter bag, which seemed to offer many of the same benefits of the previous edition that I looked at, but with some slight tweaks to the layout in addition to the smaller size. And so really excited to have had a chance to test this out over the past couple of weeks. And in this video, I'm gonna be talking about what it's been like to use it. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, I really like the more old school and outdoorsy vibe that this bag is going for. Although I'm a big fan of the modern, sleek, kind of tech-focused travel bags that I feature a lot on the channel, it's refreshing to have something that feels different. And it still offers many of the same features that you would expect from a modern travel bag, but maintains that kind of heritage, classic style. It's a little bit more technical. Reminds me of some of the bags that I would imagine people living out of as they're traveling around Southeast Asia or Europe. So you've got compression straps, attachment points, the bungee cord. It's not a minimal bag by any means. It's gonna stand out a little bit. You'll definitely look like somebody who's backpacking, but you get a ton of functionality for that trade-off. I still think it's a versatile appearance that'll work well around the world, and that might even fit into the outdoors if that's where you wanna take it. And then as far as the materials, the bag feels very solidly built. This exterior fabric is similar to the one that we saw on the company's backpacker set, which has held up very well for me. It's a recycled 900D polyester that feels like it's just gonna hold up great to rougher usage. It's fairly flexible, so it molds around everything that's on the inside. The material itself isn't gonna be as weather resistant as something like a ballistic nylon or X-Pack, but it offers enough protection for lighter weather. And then you also have a rain cover area on the bottom. So you got this pocket here and the rain cover. You can pull it out, cover the bag up if you happen to get caught in heavier rain or just to have some additional protection. So great to see that the company is sort of thinking about that. And then beyond that, you have just really nice premium feeling materials throughout as far as the straps, the webbing. You have these really durable G-hooks as well for the different buckles of the bag, and then some really nice smooth working YKK zippers all throughout. One additional note on the fabric is that this is the type of thing where I would expect that it would collect a lot of dust and lint. So far, my experience with the bags has been pretty good. It's probably helped by the fact that I have this sort of green color here. It is offered in darker kind of black coloring, which I imagine would show a little bit more, but so far it's been easy to keep it clean and just kind of take things off when I happen to notice that they get on there, but I'll be keeping a close eye on that as I use the bag more. And then continuing along the outside of the bag, you have two external water bottle pockets that offer a really nice amount of space. Got some good elasticity here. I was easily able to fit my 26-ounce Yeti Rambler, and so that's got a nice comfortable hold there. I like that the pockets are pretty deep, so it feels like it's a really secure hold here. And then I like that it expands outwards, so it doesn't feel like that's eating into the volume of the main area. The bag is packed out at the moment. And then on both sides, you also have compression straps, which are great for pairing with a water bottle if you want to store a tripod, or if you just want to attach maybe a jacket onto the side. This is also going to be really helpful for compressing the bag down when it's not as full, or if you just want to prevent things from moving around. So those are some of the benefits of having the functionality. There's some pretty good strap management on these compression straps. This is the type of thing where it could start to get a little messy if this wasn't included, so that's great. And another cool thing is that you do have the ability to remove these if you prefer a cleaner sort of appearance and you don't really think that you're gonna need them. And I could see how some people might just want to remove them because they do tend to block the zippers, which can provide a little bit of deterrence, make it a little harder to open this up or just give you some more peace of mind. But when you're opening the main compartment of the bag a lot, as we'll see in a little bit, you will have to actually remove this. And then on the front of the bag, you have a couple of rows of webbing that are great for attaching additional accessories with a carabiner. So this is where I will typically hang my hand sanitizer. I might clip on my Beats headphones if I want to have them on the outside of the bag. Sometimes I'll clip on an additional pair of shoes if they don't fit on the inside. And then you have the bungee cord on the front as well, which is great for securing a jacket, tripod, other accessories. And you have a couple of handles as well that are going to make it easy to help load this into an overhead storage compartment or a trunk. So you have one at the bottom. It's got a really rugged fabric here. It sticks out a little bit, but that makes it easy to grab. Then you have another similar one at the top. So always great to have those multiple places to grab something of this size. And then up at the top, you have the Salkan logo right in the middle. So you know, it's a white logo. It's got a contrast against the fabric of the bag, but I don't think that it's overly prominent. And then on the top of the bag, you have some additional rows of webbing. So just lots of functionality all throughout. Plenty of different ways to attach stuff if you want to use it. One last thing I'll call out while we're talking about the outside of the bag is that it can stand up on its own. It is a little inconsistent depending on how the weight is distributed, but when the bag is packed out, it has a fairly wide bottom. So it can have kind of that stable base that will allow you to place this down next to you and be able to access the compartments while you're on the road. So that was nice to see. And then moving into the capacity, the bag comes in at about 35 liters, which as I've mentioned in the past, is kind of my ideal one bag travel size, as it gives me enough space to hold all the items that I would need for a 1 to 2 week trip without me having to worry about checking the bag, even if I'm traveling internationally on some of the stricter airlines. With this size of bag, I'm always pretty comfortable that I'm gonna be all right. It's gonna fit comfortably into pretty much any overhead storage area. So it's a very versatile size, and I like that because of the materials of the bag, even when it's a little bit more packed out, it never really looks too bulky. It doesn't stick out a ton, which is gonna make it great for navigating crowded areas and jumping onto public transit. Taking a look at the harness system, so far the bag has been really comfortable to wear. I've been very impressed in general with Salkan's harnesses. They definitely give companies like Tortuga a run for their money. Just really love the padding that's included in the straps here. It feels super soft, robust, comfortable on the inside. You have a nice breathable mesh to help prevent moisture from building up. The straps have a nice width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders when it's a little bit more packed out. You also have load lifters here to allow you to pull the weight closer to your back and just kind of tweak how it sits on your shoulders. One thing that's a little different here from the larger version of the bag is that it doesn't have the ability to adjust the harness up and down. So it's not quite as configurable, but for me, this setup has worked very, very well. On the straps, you also have some webbing that'll allow you to clip on additional accessories, and you have these G-hooks here that are meant to pair with the company's day pack. So you can clip it onto the front so that, if you want to have a 2-bag travel setup, it's actually pretty, straightforward to get it on and off. It's a cool system. It works well. You can also attach it to the front of the bag if you want to wear it all as kind of one large travel backpack. So it's nice to have sort of that ecosystem built out around this. And then, if you don't want to use these, just kind of stay out of the way. Beyond that, you have an adjustable sternum strap that has a little safety whistle as well to help distribute the weight. And then at the bottom of the bag, you have a really great waist belt. It really feels like it's gonna offer a ton of support, very comfortable. This is removable if you wanna take it off, but I really like that this is well padded, similar style to what you see on the straps. So it actually feels like it's gonna help when the bag is really packed out, more so than many of the other waist belts that I see on some travel bags. So great to see that included here. The padding comes out a nice amount, plenty of length on the straps to adjust it to fit you just right. And then on the waist straps, you also have some additional pocketing, always useful for quick grab items that you want to reach, like some snacks, maybe your phone, if you're just going through the airport or something like that. I like that they have a little bit of volume. And then taking a look at the back paneling, this has also been very, very comfortable. Just really thick, great padding, well distributed all throughout. Again, a nice mesh to provide breathability. You have some elevation, create some air channels. So overall, it's just been a great experience. Even when the bag has been packed out and I've been wearing it for a longer period of time, it's felt great. While we're on the back paneling, I'll call it, you do have one handle here that will allow you to carry this as kind of a briefcase if you want to take it off your back for a little bit. So great to see that incorporated here. And you also have a zippered pocket that rests against your back. So this is gonna be a great spot for something a little bit more sensitive, like your passport, maybe a wallet, some extra cash, to keep it a little bit more protected against pickpockets. Jumping into the organizational options, the bag keeps things pretty simple. At the top, you have a nice zippered quick access pocket that's gonna offer a nice amount of space. So you have a zipper here that's pretty well covered, so it's gonna help keep this area protected from the elements. And then I really like the amount of volume that's offered here. This is a type of pocket that I'm accessing all the time while I'm traveling, so it's great when it just gives you a lot of flexibility for what you can toss in there without having to think too much. So at the moment, I have my sunglasses with their hard shell case, I have my Apple AirPods, I have a GoPro, and then I also have a cable to charge my phone and my tablet. And even with all of those items in there, there's still leftover space for anything else that I want to take out while going through TSA. No other additional organization provided here, but just really love the amount of space that this provides. And then on the side of the bag, you have a zipper that allows you to access the laptop sleeve that's incorporated into the main area. So not quite a dedicated laptop compartment, which I would have preferred to see, but still nice that you have the external access to it. One thing to note here as we get into the zipper is that this top compression strap does block the zipper, so you have to remove it so that you can actually open this all the way up. But when you open it, it's a pretty big zipper, so it's gonna be able to handle up to a 15 or 16-inch laptop pretty comfortably. Currently what I have in here is a 14-inch MacBook Pro, but you can see that there's some leftover space here, and you have plenty of padding. So really good implementation here. You have a soft lining on both sides. It feels like it's pulled up a little bit off the bottom of the ground, so really checking off a lot of the boxes for what I'm looking for out of a padded laptop sleeve. And so you can see the device comes out now with the compartment empty. You can get a better look at the inside. We'll also revisit this when we open up the main area. But you know, it feels like my device is gonna be very well protected while I'm on the go. And then moving into the main compartment, you do have two ways that you can access this main area. You can either go from the top, so you have these G hooks here that you can release, and then like the backpacker set, this does have an adjustable volume. So if you need a little bit more capacity, you do have the sort of drawstring opening here so that you can reach stuff that's right near the top. So that's nice to have that additional flexibility. Another note with this top area is that you do have the ability to adjust how this rests there. So depending on how full the bag is, you might need to tweak that. But I really appreciate the dual access nature and just having this flexibility here for times when I need that extra bit of space. You also have a little buckle here to cinch that area down really well. And the compartment that I've been using the most is this zippered area on the front, which allows you to access this more clamshell or duffel style, I guess you could say. And you do have the compression straps here, so if you just want to open it a little bit to reach into something quickly, you can. But then if you want to open it fully flat, you have to release those compression straps, and then you have a little bit more visibility into this main area. Before diving into the loadout, the first thing I wanted to call out was this zippered pocket on the lid for the main area, which is a nice additional bit of organization, especially since there's limited options on the exterior. This is still an area that you can just place the bag down, open this up, and access this fairly easily. And I really like that this has this sort of split zipper here, so whether I'm holding it up or down, the items stay in there pretty well. I like that it's a mesh, so you can see what you're trying to grab, and it also offers a good amount of volume. Even when this main area is packed out, I was able to store my laptop charger in here comfortably, as well as other accessories like my Matador blanket, and then I also have my Tom Bent Ghostwell pouch. So great, simple organization there. Coming back to kind of the primary storage area, the loadout I have here is pretty typical for what I would use for a one bag travel setup. Salkan does offer their own set of packing cubes, which I used with their previous bag. They work very well. They're just a pretty straightforward set of cubes. They have a laundry bag that integrates nicely with some attachment points inside of their bag. So it's a cool ecosystem. I use the same setup that I have in many of my other videos just for comparison's sake, so you can kind of see how the volume is. So diving in at the top here, I have a GoRuck Shadow Pocket, which is kind of a secondary pack and cube dop kit because I had extra space. Even though this is 35 liters, because of the layout, the flexibility, and then the additional volume, it feels like it can hold a really impressive amount. And so I kind of just threw that in there because I had the extra space. I also tossed in a packable backpack. If I'm not taking Salkan's day pack, this is still a little large for day-to-day usage, so I would want something simple that I could pack away and pull out once I arrive at my destination. And then I also have my Air Dop kit. I have my additional pair of shoes, which I always have with me, a pair of Toms. Then I have the smaller Peak Design compressible packing cube, as well as the larger one. Both of them fit in there very nicely. Now with this compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. So a nice, pretty high contrast lining to provide you with some visibility. On the back, you can see the laptop sleeve that we were taking a look at earlier. It has a little Velcro flap to help keep your device in place, which is nice. And you can see here that it is properly pulled up off the bottom of the ground. So again, great to have that peace of mind for, when you're traveling, you place your bag down, your laptop is not going to be making contact with the ground. And then on the side, you have a couple of zippered pockets to give you some internal organization. So you have two on one side, and these are going to offer a good amount of space for any sort of smaller tech or toiletry items that you might be using. It could even work as a kind of a cube area to store some socks or underwear. At the moment, I just have a portable battery in one of them here. And then on the other side, I didn't really use anything because I wanted to leave the space mostly for the packing cubes. I don't tend to use a lot of the pockets inside of bags like these. And then you have one longer compartment on the other side. So this one's gonna be a little bit taller. Again, maybe a good spot for clothes, for an addition, if you wanna have your umbrella separated from your stuff. At the moment, I just tossed in a nail clipper set and a deck of playing cards just to kind of fill the space out. But I wouldn't normally use these that much. Still glad that they're included. They stay out of the way if you don't wanna use them. And that's about it for the main area. You have a zipper here at the top that allows you to access the frame sheet, which I'm really glad that's included with the bag, as it helps distribute the weight out, keeps everything comfortable. So, really just does a great job of keeping things simple and effective. I really like these simpler layouts on travel bags. They work well with my packing setup. I feel like it really allows you to maximize a lot of the space. And then you, of course, have the flexibility at the top. So really well thought out. I think that it can hold an impressive amount. I love the aesthetic of the bag. And if you're looking for a comfortable, durable travel pack that's gonna be carry-on friendly, this is gonna be an excellent option to take a look at. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the 35-liter carry-on pack from Salkan over the past couple of weeks. I'll make sure to include a link in the description below to the company site if you wanna learn more about the bag or if you wanna pick one of these up. At the time of filming, I don't have the finalized pricing for the bag. My guess, based off the prices for the larger version of the bag, is that this will come in at around $200, maybe $250 would be my guess, which is definitely a bit of an investment, and it would put it in line with some of the other similar bags in this category. As I was testing this out, one of the first bags this made me think of is the Tortuga Travel Backpack Lite, which comes in at around 40 liters, so pretty similar in size to this. That one has a much more modern, sleek, simple aesthetic. It's got a suitcase style opening, so very easy to pack it out. Super simple layout. It's got a well padded and suspended laptop compartment, some quick access pockets, so it doesn't go overboard, which I really like. And it's got a very comfortable harness system. Tortuga has some of my favorites on the market, and so that one's gonna come in at around that $250 price point. So if you're looking for just a simple, reliable travel bag that's gonna check off all the boxes and get you going, that's gonna be one of the best options to take a look at. Another bag this made me think of is the Air Travel Pack 3, which for a long time has been one of my go-to one bag travel options. It's got a very sleek, modern aesthetic, lots of organizational options for everything that you wanna be carrying with you. Great tech protection on that one. It's got a dedicated laptop compartment, suspended, very well padded. It's got a comfortable harness system, compression straps. It really just has a ton of functionality, weather resistant materials. It feels super solid. And so if you're looking for a 35-liter carry-on friendly travel backpack that is gonna have some more of those modern touches and some additional organization, then that's gonna be one of the best options to keep in mind. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the updated edition of Pack's Travel Backpack, which is one of the bags that has surprised me how much I've come back to it, and I've really enjoyed it. quite a bit. It's offered in 2 different sizes. There's a 35-liter size and there's a 45-liter size, and that one also has the ability to expand to give you a little bit more capacity. One of the things that I like about Packed is they're also building kind of an ecosystem, so they have a packable day bag that's actually meant to fit inside of the travel backpack. So not quite the same setup as what Salkan does with their bags, but still a nice alternative if you do want to have a reliable day bag when you arrive at your destination. And then Pack's just got a very unique layout to their travel bag. It opens like a suitcase, but it has the 2 dedicated sections. The laptop compartment is in the middle. So that's got its pros and cons, but it does offer a nice amount of protection. And once you get used to the layout, it can actually be quite cool to travel with that bag. And so it's also got a very comfortable harness system, really solid build quality, really subdued aesthetic, and a nice organizational layout. I really like the pocketing on that bag. It's got some quick access pockets that have plenty of volume, so it's a very flexible, durable, and useful bag. And so if you're looking for something unique that's still gonna provide some of the flexibility of the systems that Salkan has, then that's definitely gonna be another interesting option to consider. With that being said, the Salkan Carry-On pack holds up really well against all those options, and if you're looking for a spacious, durable, and highly comfortable travel backpack that's gonna offer a unique aesthetic and a nice amount of functionality, then this is gonna be a great option to take a look at. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the new Carry-On pack and how it compares to some of the other popular travel bags that are currently on the market. And if there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank the company for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.